world. Like that, they develop a feeling. The people will always lament. Lot of negative energies will be passed on that person's ears. So he would try to curb away from that. But whenever he approaches them, they will be directly or indirectly questioning him, when will he leave this world? Like that, a sense of boredom will be created in people's mind. To put an end to that boredom, Marananam tu Jeevitam. There must be death. That's why everyone has to die someday. You can't say that the person who lived for so many years, a person who lived for 20 years, he passed away as soon as he passed away quickly. For us, it may seem like that, but to the God, it is the same. When we are given the body, it is subject to perishment. Someday it has to perish, and someday it has to leave the world. It has to be dropped. That is why, when we are born, already the death date is fixed in our head, in our Brahma Lipi. That in Tamil we say Talayeluthu. In our fate, it is already fixed. Which Rama tells these things to Bharata, and Bharata heard it with great reverence. And many people, including Jabali Maharishi, Vasishta, all the Maharishis, they all pleaded Rama to take to ascend the throne. Primarily Bharata told, and Rama told him in a passive way such that it won't hurt him. At the same time, it doesn't mean that he isn't interested to take the kingship duties. He was interested. He was interested, but he was bound by the oath. So he doesn't want to forfeit the oath which he took from his stepmother Kaikeyi. That's why he politely declined Bharata's offer. At the same time, to Vasishta's offer, as well as same time to Jabali Maharishi's offer. Even though Jabali spoke atheism, which Rama condemned it by highlighting the presence or highlighting the greatness of Dharma. All those things had taken place. And Jabali spoke atheism because he wanted to bring Rama he wanted to retrieve Rama. He wanted Rama to rule Ayodhya such that it won't affect the people. As people, they have sacrificed their sleep, hunger, everything they have sacrificed all because of Rama. Not because of the Jabali, not because of any other Maharishis. For the sake of Rama, they sacrificed everything. Which, for the sake of people, Jabali proposed Rama to ascend to take the kingship duties. By highlighting the greatness of Dharma, Rama told everything. And Bharata was in a stage of despair because he would be missing Rama. So, to seek refuge, they need one parameter. That one parameter is Rama's Divya Paduka. Adirohaya Padabhyam Paduke Hemabhushite. He has mounted his divine Padukas. He has given the Padukas to Bharata. And Bharata mounted it on his head. Etehi sarvalokasya lokakshemam vidasyataha. With that, the previous session we have seen the Paduka Pattabhishekam. And Bharata had also taken the oath. Like for the 14 years of Vanavas, which Rama had taken it as a oath. Similarly, he would be in Vanavas. That too, he would stay in Nandigram. Even though Rama ordered him to take the kingship duties, he would take. But he won't enjoy the pleasures which the king would enjoy. He would be an ideal king who would do the duties the king would do, and he's not interested to enjoy all the worldly pleasures. Like he would keep the Paduka in Ayodhya. After its coronation, he would bring it to Nandigram and he would offer flowers to that Paduka such that because Rama is doing that, he had that bhava in his mind. He had that expression that this Paduka is ruling on behalf of me, on behalf of Rama. Because of this Paduka, all people were looking good. Because of this Paduka, it brings the welfare to this country. especially to this Ayodhya, which Bharata firmly believed in that Paduka. And he also waited for Rama's arrival after 14 years of exile. If Rama didn't arrive, he is ready to drop his body in the fire. So, because of Rama, he had taken the kingship duties, and he also eagerly waited for Rama's arrival. Hence, he has built a small hut and he stayed in Nandigram. With that, everyone left to Ayodhya with a broken mind. And what is the beauty you see in Ayodhya Kand? The beauty is both weren't interested. If Bharata tells Rama to succeed their father, Rama neglects it. And Rama tells Bharata to ascend the throne on behalf of me. Bharata firmly neglects it because he is a younger brother to Rama. And it is a sin if a younger brother ascends the throne, which has been followed by the Mughal empires, because they didn't care about younger brother, elder brother or something. What they want is, they want power. That is what Aurangzeb has done. Even though he had his elder brother Dara Shikoh, who is also qualified to be a ruler to ascend the throne after Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb didn't like that. And he found a reason that he was embracing Hinduism. He was often going to Kashi, Banaras, to hear what the Vedas they chant. And he also wrote a Persian commentary on that 4 Vedas, on Upanishads. He didn't like that Dara Shikoh's approach. So, he wanted to wage a war against Dara Shikoh and his 5 elder brothers. And since he was a very good warrior, he won over them. He killed Dara Shikoh. All the things he had done, all the atrocities he had done, he had also jailed his father Shah Jahan to death. And later he had ascended the throne. Not such kind of approach Bharata had. What I told about Aurangzeb, what has been mentioned in the Mughal empires, what has been mentioned in the Wikipedia, I have told everything. That is not the approach you would see in Bharata. He had that affection towards Rama. He wanted Rama to ascend the throne. But Bharata accepted it because he knows his brother. He won't compromise truth, Satyam. He won't compromise Dharma. That is what he has told Kaikeyi, that Vidyamam Rishibihi Tulyam Vimalam Dharmamashritah. That don't suspect me, that I would hear on 1 year and let it go on another year. Vidyamam Rishibis Tulyam. I am equal to Maharshis. Vimalam Dharmamashritah. Who had no such sin in their mind, who had no such impurity in their mind, and who had an interest to follow their own dharma, which Rama firmly convicted, which Rama firmly told his principle to Kaikeyi. That is what he showed in his body language, and that made Bharata understand that it is my duty to follow my elder brother, who is my king, even though he is not a king to Ayodhya people, but he is king to me. To me, he is my Swami. It's my prime duty to listen to Rama, to take the kingship duties. But at the same time, I am not interested to take the worldly pleasures, because I eagerly wait for Rama's arrival. I am very curious. I am very desperate. I want Rama to come. After completing his vow and oath, everything, I want to see Rama. And that is the Bhakti Bhava you see in Bharata, which we have seen in the last satsang. And now after Paduka Pattabhishekam, Rama was about to go to Dandakaranya. Before that, we have seen the conversation between Anasuya and Sitamma. As Sita told about her Swayamvar, about her marriage to Anasuya, as she didn't have the time to visit her Swayamvar, her marriage. So she heard the marriage from Sita's mouth and she was overjoyed. And both of them blessed Rama and Sita. And after receiving their blessings, Rama went to Dandakaranya. From there only Aranyakanda starts. In that, the first sloka it says, Pravishyatu Maharanyam Dandakaranyamaatmavan Dadasya Ramaha Dutdarshaha Tapasashamamandalam. Valmiki gives us the grand entry. The first sloka itself gives us the entry, the entrance scene, the hero's entry. Pravishyatu Maharanyam Dandakaranyam Atmavan. Pravishyatu Maharanyam. He just entered that forest. Not a mere forest which you see in Pichavaram, near Chidambaram. Not the mere forest, the mangrove forest, as well as in Sundarbans. It is more and more dense. Dandakaranyam Atmavan, Maharanyam. And why it is called Maharanyam? Lot of commentators are given us beautiful meaning by using the term Maharanyam. What do you mean Maharanyam? Maharanyam means, one word I said, it's a dense forest. And what makes the forest more dense? Because of the canopy, because of the flora and fauna, I can say. Apart from that, because of the Maharshis who spend their time in contemplating on Bhagavan, who spend their lives, who does their austerities, Anushtana, every day. Why? Garbhabhutaha tapodhanaha. They protect their tapas, their austerities, like how a pregnant woman protects her own children by bearing them in their womb. Similarly, they protect their tapas by not dissipating it, by not cursing the people. Because in Kali Yuga, you see lot of curses. None of the curses are answered. And none of the blessings are answered. That is the comedy you see in Kali Yuga. Why? Because we have no tapas. No one follows the truth. Wherever you see, they follow Pakanda Nirataha Sarve Varakaha Kutabashina, I said in Mahatmyam, Bhagavata Mahatmyam. Pakanda Nirataha. They all forfeit dharma. Varakaha Kutabashinaha. And they waste their time literally by chit-chatting, literally by humiliating others, literally by criticizing others. They waste their time. That is why people have no tapas. They have no tapas. And that is the reason they can't curse others. And all the curses, even though they curse, all the curses are unanswered. Why? They had no tapas and no satyam within them. And that was 2 yugas before. What I am speaking about Ramayana that occurred in Treta Yuga. Everyone they did sacrifices, they did yajna, and that is the tapas, and that was the tapas. Everyone have accumulated, and they don't want to waste it. So they pose themselves as if they were weak. And since their tapas illuminated the entire forest, hence the forest is called Maharanyam. Dandakaranyam Atmavan, that is Dandakaranya Atmavan, Rama forest. The moment to that forest, automatically people, all the Maharishis were continuously contemplating on that Parabrahma, on that entity which is everywhere and which always bear the truth. As Bhagavatam says, Satyam, Satyavratam, Satyaparandra Satyam, which always bears the truth and which is always the ultimate truth. That is the Paramatika Satyam as said in the Vedanta literature. That is always the truth and that is always permanent. That has no such that has no birth and death. That is ever existing. That has no origin and that cannot be destructed. To that entity, everyone were contemplating. Moment Rama entered. Why he is called Atmavan? It is mentioned in Balaganda, Atmavan Kaha Jitakroda. Here the word Atmavan means to those, he is the revealer. He reveals his own existence to the Maharshis, who were contemplating on that entity to give them the assurance that I am that entity, he entered Dandakaranyam. Dadasya Ramaha Durdarshaha Tapasashrama Mandalam. The moment he entered the Tapasashrama, Dandakaranya forest, all the Maharishis wake up and they were ready to board to Rama. They were ready to board to Rama. Kushasira Parikshittam Brahmya Lakshmya Samavritam Yata Pritam Durdarsham Gagane Surya Mandalam. Like he entered, like how the sun illuminates its own presence in the space. The same way Rama's illuminance lured the Maharishis. They all came. Instead of they bowing to him, Rama offered obeisance to all the Maharishis. Then they all were hesitant to bless Rama. As in the Shastras it is said, they won't show their left palm, because if they show their left palm, that person will be burned into ashes. And here they have no such existence, because he is Bhagavan. He came here to put an end to Ravana's tyranny. So it's better we bless him with both hands, be it right or left, and the left hand won't burn Rama, because he only gives us tapas. He only gives us the benefit of us doing tapas. So they all raised their two hands and they blessed him. Sarvam Jayati. Everyone blessed them by chanting the Veda mantras. And Rama with folded hands, Vinayagyo Vinitavat, with utmost sheer humility, he requested the Maharishis that what shall I do? What seva shall I do? Abhyagacham tata prita vidyam kritva mahattanuhu divya nyabopamanaste ramadrishta maharsayaha abhyagacham tata prita vaidehin yashasvini tetam somam vivodyantam dishtva vai dharmacharinaha abhyagacham sata pritam vidyam kritva mahattanuhu. He held this divine bow, Kodandam, erect, for the sake of serving the Maharishis, and he asked them, what service shall I do? Then the Maharishis showed Rama the place where there were a heap of all the bones. Lot of bones were there. By looking at the bones, all the Maharishis, they were worried, as they couldn't tolerate the atrocities these Rakshasas, these demons had done. While they perform oblation to the Agni, while they perform Yajna, at that time, while they give Swaha, some dravya, some materials to Agni as a mark of obeisance, at that time the demons would come and they would swallow him and they would do Swaha to him. And instead, they all have spat their bones, that too opposite to my ashrama. And every day when I woke up to see the sun god, I see these bones piling one another. I see the increase of the bones. It was like a small gravel, later became a heap of mountain. I don't know what to do, Rama. I couldn't see these atrocities. Please bless me. As Lakshidavya Itashashat Garbhabhuta Tapodana, as I am protecting my tapas, I can't curse them. So far, instead of me doing that, you carry and you protect us. With the folded hands, all the Maharishis unhesitatingly told their problems, and Rama approved it. And Rama did an oath that I would surely protect you guys, protect you Maharishi. And he doesn't want the people to, he doesn't want the Maharishis to suffer. Later, te vayam bhavatarakshya bhavat vishayavasinaha nagarasto manasto va Tongo Raja Nareshwaraha. As all the Maharshis, they were praised him that if you are in the forest, if you are sent for 14 years of exile, if you were in the kingdom, you are always the king. As said in the Vedas, Sa Samrat Bhavati is always the king. The same thing as said in Bhagavatam, Janmadhyasya Ketonvayate Itarataha Cha Atteshu Abhijnaha Swarat. There he mentioned Swarat. There Vyasacharya mentioned Krishna as Swarat. Why he mentioned Krishna as Swarat means he has no, his kingdom has no such a, his kingdom is ever existing. He is always the permanent ruler. Even though we had Raja Raja Choda, Rajendra Choda, and Aurangzeb, Shah Jahan, Akbar, Jahangir, you had many rulers. They were called ruler at that era. At that particular century, in 15th, 16th century, Akbar was a ruler. You can say, to them you can say once upon a time. You can't say Bhagavan once upon a time. Because right now, currently, he is our Prime Minister. Rather than our country's Prime Minister, he is the permanent Prime Minister who has no such end. Who has no such, his tenure won't end. His tenure is always fixed. As till the Yuga continues, till the Yuga as bound to destruction, he is ever the ruler. That's why it is said Abhijnaha Swarat. The same meaning the Maharshis convey. And many used to say, when they contemplated on that Parabrahman, on that entity, all the Maharshis, they went towards Rama. Because they also had the instant, they also want to marry Rama. Since Rama had adhered to the word that Vakabana, Vakapatni. Since he had bound by that principle that he would speak one word, Vakabana. One arrow he would pierce, and that would turn into hundreds of arrows. And later it will dissipate, it will annihilate the entire Rakshasa clan, which we would see in which would see his conquest with the 14,000 Rakshasas. Later we would see right now. So Rama, he would pierce only one arrow, and he would show the love and affection towards one woman, that is his consort Sita. Since he was bound by his own principle, he can't neglect the Maharshis, but he has to neglect, because to satiate their hunger, he promised them that in the next avatara, I won't be bound by such principles. I will be free. Then you can enjoy and relinquish with me. As all the people, by his eyesight, he answered all the questions, all the queries of Maharshis. And all the Maharshis, they were overjoyed and they were ready to do more and more tapas. Because our Rama is there, our Ram Lalla is there, he will take care of us. And at that time, suddenly, Virada Rakshasa came. At that time, he had a very big trident that had pierced hundreds and thousands of elephants, lions, tigers, and many such things had happened. Before that, at that time, he abducted Sita. When he was about to ask who are these three people, and by conversing with Rama, he suddenly kidnapped Sita and he ran a half kilometer. At that time, Rama was very worried. He was in a state of despair that I have lost my king, and at the same time, I also lost my own. I am also losing my wife. So Lakshmana, what can I do? Which Rama and Lakshmana pacified him, and Rama, by following Lakshmana's advice, both chased Virada, and Virada knew about their power and valor. So he threw Sita aside, and later he kidnapped Rama and Lakshmana. And Rama was again perplexed, and again he was tense that what shall I do, Lakshmana, to put an end to Virada's atrocious acts. And Lakshmana gave him a plan that instead of hurling the arrows, which he survived by chasing, we have hurled arrows, as he has showed his power that he can't be killed by arrows. Better we use our sword. By using that sword, we would put an end, we would cut both Virada's hands and we would put an end to his atrocious activities. And later they all tried, and they all were, at the same time they were tolerant, because Virada was taking to the place which Rama and Lakshmana had decided, and he had the intention to devour both of them. So Rama, by knowing his intention, he killed him. That suddenly the Rakshasa form had disappeared. Later, from that the Gandharva arose, and he told, because of messing with the Maharshis, I had taken this Rakshasa form. So he blessed Rama, and before he left to his Gandharva Loka, he told Rama to meet Sharabanga, as he was eagerly waiting for Sharabanga, as he was eagerly waiting for Rama. And at that time, Indra had mounted his airplane, that is the Vimana, to take Sharabanga to heaven. And Sharabanga was doing his tapas very sincerely. He was doing his homa very sincerely. Indra was ready to take Sharabanga. And because of his tapas shakti, he made Indra to move. Even though he didn't convey to Indra that, Indra, please wait, I would come later after I respect Rama, after I complete my obeisance to Rama. So Indra, you please wait. He didn't tell. And Indra, even though waited for 1 hour, which is very ideal to him, he was forced to leave that place. He was forced to leave the heaven, that I can't learn this Maharshi, and his tapas is scorching me. So better I leave this place. And that has made Indra to go to Swarga. And Sharabanga was continuously doing tapas. And by hearing Virada's words, he went to Sharabanga's ashram. And Sharabanga, even though he was in a samadhi state, his samadhi state was collapsed at the moment, because Rama came. Abhigacchamahe shigram Sharabangam tapotaram samipe Sharabangase darasya mahadadbhutam. And Rama, out of despair, he was very desperate to meet Sharabanga. That we have to go fast. And suddenly, when Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, both of them entered the Sharabanga's ashrama, and Sharabanga was in a state of bliss, he didn't know what to do. He was ready to offer flowers to Rama, and Rama resisted, because he is Chakravarti Thirumagan. He is a son of a Chakravarti. So he didn't want Sharabanga to offer flowers. He slowly resisted. He moved aside, even though Sharabanga knew he is the Parabrahma. He is Bhagavan. So he does these activities such that he can kill Ravana. He wanted to kill Ravana. For the sake of Ravana's, to end Ravana's tyranny, he is acting as if he was a prince. He is doing such things, which Sharabanga knew, and he mentally offered the obeisance to Rama. And Iha Rama Mahatejaha, before he was about to leave this abode, he beautifully praised Rama. Mahamesha Varado Rama Brahmalokam Nisati Brahmancha Nakamistyancha Pratignishamamaka. Mahamesha Varado Rama Brahmalokam Ninishati. That in front of you, in your presence, I'm ready to sacrifice
Well, Acharya says, Hitam idam
I'm ready
upatisham.
to leave, I'm ready to drop my body
This jnanam, this
as
Vedanta
I'll be
jnanam
leaving Brahmaloka.
is for your well-being.
I'm ready to leave Brahmaloka. So, Rama, please bless me. Which he asked for blessings, and later Sharabanga went to Brahmaloka by dropping his body in the fire. The yajna which he had performed for so many years. And that fruit which Rama just seen his liberation. Later he would see Sabari's liberation, which we will be seeing in the later open, which we will be seeing right now. As Sarabanga went to Brahmaloka, before that he advised Rama to have a darshan of Sutishna Maharshi, who was a disciple of Agastya Maharshi. And with folded hands, he went to Sudikshna Maharshis. And everyone, and he showed various ashramas around Dandakaranyam. And after the Samhara of Virada, and after seeing the liberation of Sarabanga, and there were no such problem and calamity occurred in Dandakaranya. When Rama visited Sudikshna Maharshi, he stayed in their respective Maharshis ashramas based on their tapas and based on their based on their availability. If they were available for 1 year, Rama stayed there for 1 year. If they did for tapas for 1 month, Rama stayed there for 1 month. If they did for 1 day, Rama blessed them for 1 day, stayed them for 1 day. Based on their tapas, based on their austerities, Rama blessed them and Rama stayed them based on their duration of their austerities. Which Rama stayed there for so many years in Dandakaranya. And slowly 10 years went very, very smoothly. And they entered to that pond. There they heard a lot of music taking place. There was a live kacheri taking place. And Rama was very curious that they had seen so many Maharshis, they did so many austerities. To those austerities, Rama came and visited, and in the sake of getting blessings from them, Rama blessed them. And for 10 years he visited that, and he had seen something unique in something unique. By looking at that, he asked Sudikshna Maharshi that what is unique in visiting his ashrama, and where is his ashrama? Which Rama asked, and Sudikshna Maharshi told, there is his ashrama is inside the pond. So he was performing 10,000 years of austerities, and that has scorched the Indra's throne in Devaloka, and all the Maharshis and all the damsels, Ramba, Urvasi, Menaka, they all danced in front of him, and they couldn't shake his tapas. And he ordered Agni to burn, to give him a scorching effect. And he ordered Surya Bhagavan to give him the maximum heat. And he ordered Chandra to give him the maximum coolness, to froze him. Even though he tried his best to disturb his tapas. And all the devatas and all the Gandharvas, they all tried with their soothing voices to lure the Maharshi. And Maharshi lured. And they were very frightened that he was in a position to curse us. Instead, he laughed at them. And he requested the Gandharvas to serve him. As he always stays in the pond, he requested the few Gandharvas to come along with him, as he would continue doing his austerities in the pond, and all the Gandharvas, they would sing 24/7, like a 12-hour and a 15-hour concert in Vaikuntha Ekadasi, which is being held every year in Ayodhya Mandapam, which was held actually, as well as in Mudra. In the festivals, you see the 10-hour to 12-hour concert. Here, the uniqueness is they would perform 24/7 in that Maharshi's ashram, and slowly mentioned his name. His name was Mantakanni. And everyone were ready, and all the fish, and all the fishes, sharks, all the whales, they were all very happy. And they also welcomed Rama, Lakshmana and Sita as well as Maharshi, Sutishna Maharshi. They welcomed him and they showed them the way of where the Maharshi Mantakanni, to show the residence of Maharshi Mantakanni. Everyone went to his ashram and everyone seek blessings from him. And he stayed there for nearly half a month. And later, it took more or less 11 years in Dandakaranya itself. And later he went to Agastya Maharshi's ashrama. And before that, while Agastya Maharshi was doing his austerities, many disciples who just now had their Upanayana Samskara completed, they don't know, they are in the position to get initiated in doing austerities. They couldn't guess Rama and Lakshmana and Sita. They were perplexed, they were confused. They don't know what to do. They all reported to Maharshi that the three people are coming. And one person who was dark hue in color, and another person totally contrast to his complexion. And in between them there was one beautiful damsel. And three of them, and there was a person who was escorting three of them, our Sutishna Maharshi, your senior-most disciple. And he asked them, who were those three people? And Maharshi told, don't misjudge them. Welcome them with great reverence. He is our Rama. Please welcome them. Which Agastya Maharshi taught those disciples, and they all welcomed with due respect. They all welcomed him. And they came. At that time, while they came, Agastya Maharshi respected him and Rama bowed him. Even though Agastya Maharshi can't praise him wholeheartedly because he knew Rama's presence, he couldn't praise him. So, he knew Rama's presence at the same time. For what reason Rama had come? So he has taken a chance to bless Rama, as he wanted to give him the Vaishnava Dhanus, which he had accumulated after putting an end to Parashurama's ego. After he won over Parashurama, and Parashurama was ready, he gave the Vaishnava Dhanus to Rama. And many say that Rama acquired the Vaishnava Dhanus, which was later acquired by Varuna Deva, the god of ocean. While Varuna acquired that Vaishnava Dhanush from Rama, he gave it to Agastya Maharshi, that once he comes to meet you, you please give him as a blessing. From your hand, if he gets it, he would get that blessing. Which many people say, which many people tell in a different way of how Rama got that Vaishnava Dhanush. That story many people would say, which I also said right now. As Rama has acquired the Vaishnava Dhanush, which Agastya says, Drishtya Ramas Chirasyadya, Drishtum Mam Sabova Gataha, Manasa Kankitam Yasya, Mayapyagamanam Prati, Pravishyatam Samipampe, Kim Chasav Na Praveshitaha. As Agastya Maharshi blessed Rama, and he further added that, I would show you the wonderful place that is our Panchavati, nearby my ashrama. In that place, it would also lure our Sita. It would be pleasant to Sita. There were lot of Maharishis, and there were lot of people are there. Everyone, all the Maharishis will be very friendly to you. So, you better build a small tent and stay over there. All the facilities the Maharishis would do. You don't worry. and no such problem would take place. And it will be easy for you to do austerities over there because Godavari river is flowing aside, and daily you would have a Godavari Snana over there, and I would be your Purohit to do the Sankalpa, to do all the Snana, and I would be here to do Tarpan, for you to do Tarpan. All the Pitru Karyas I am ready to do over there. I am ready to assist you, sorry. Which Agastya had told. Before that he met Jatayu. After meeting Jatayu, and Jatayu told that, and Jatayu assured them that I am there. You don't need to worry. You don't need to get tense. I am here. Don't worry. Which Jatayu assured his confidence to Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. And I am there to take care and to guard this ashram. As Rama told, Yesha Lakshmana Nishkramat, Agastyo Bhagavan Prithhi, Abhivate Dharmatma, Tasto Ramakatandarihi, Rama Pito Sivadrete, Paritushtosi Lakshmana, Abhivadayetum Yanmam, Samprapto Sahavit Sitaya. As before they left Agastya Ashrama, both Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, they offered their prayers to Agastya Maharshi. And out of love and compassion, Lakshmana built a beautiful hut in Panchamati. Hut with lot of facilities, not a small hut which a daily wage laborer would build. He built a hut with lot of facilities such that it would be easy for her sister-in-law Sita to do cooking. He has built a beautiful kitchen over there, and he has built a beautiful place for him to do his Divya Puja, and he has built a beautiful place for him to do tapas, and all the things he had did because he wanted Rama and Sita. He wanted his brother Rama and Sita for their well-being. He did that, and Rama hugged Lakshmana that you have removed me the defect that I have lost my father, and you have very well replaced it. Without you, I can't live. I am ever indebted to you, which Rama hugged Lakshmana out of tears and affection. And at that time, all the people, at the time Rama was doing austerities. Rama was taking bath in Godavari river. At that time, he was contemplating on Bharata, as he was really worried that Tvaya putrena dharmatma Parnashalam Pritospite mahat karma Tvaya kritavidam prabho Bhavagyena kritagyena darbhagyena chalakshmana. While he praised Rama, Asamvrita pitamaha, you are equal to my own father, who always cared about me till his lifetime. Before he left his body, he chanted Rama, 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 Rama. He chanted my name. And you have even reduced that worth, and you have even reduced that the defect in my life, that gap in my life, you have reduced it. But at that time, he was equally worried about Bharata, that as I couldn't bear this coldness, this weather in Godavari, how could our Bharata would bear, as he would bathe in Sarayu river? Who is there to take care of our Bharata? By thinking that, Lakshmana further spoke, Bharta Dasarato Yasyaha Sadhusta Bharatastuta Katamnu Samba Kaikeyi Tadrishi Krudashini. Like, from his ears, from his eyes, tears overflowed. And Lakshmana further spoke that how could our Bharata is blessed to show affection towards us, but I couldn't wholeheartedly forgive our stepmother Kaikeyi's cruel act. So it's better, I can't tolerate that act. And how can she banish you for 14 years of exile? Which he started speaking bad about, he started derogatorily speaking about their own stepmother, which Rama stopped. Natemba madhyamatata gargitarvya katanchana tameva gishwaguna tasya bharatasya katam guru kuruhu. Atemba madhyamatata gargitavya katanchana. Don't ever speak about our own mother, even though she may be our stepmother. Better, instead of speaking her about her activities, as she didn't do her from her own act, because of some bad association, she had did that act. Somebody had influenced her. Somebody had curved black magic on her head, and that has made her to act based on her fate. That by her poisonous words, Dasaratha had to leave the world. By her poisonous words, her ever-loving son Rama was forced to send for a 14-year exile. Even though Dasaratha always chanted Rama, 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 Rama at his deathbed, he was given heaven. Why? Because two reasons I can say. One is he had done a crime, which he told to Kausalyama that he had, while in his youth time, while his past time, he had killed Shravana Kumara instead of mistaking him as a deer. And the curse he had accrued from his ailing parents, that they couldn't bear the loss of their own son. So he would attain the same status which they have attained. As a result, they also sacrificed their lives. And because of that sin, he was bound by that curse. So he had to die by leaving Rama. And second option I can say is, to see his coronation, he has to be in Devaloka. Such that all the Devas, they were ready, they offered flowers to Rama after he slayed Ravana. And Brahma praised Rama. And Brahma stopped Rama, that Rama questioned Rama that how could you be so indifferent of letting your wife to test in fire, to test herself with the fire. And how could you be silent as she was sent to fire, as she also ordered Lakshmana to lit the fire to show the world that she was pure. And how could he do such kind of things? And how could he be so indifferent, which Brahma told? And Rama was silent. And to him also Brahma praised. All the Devas praised. And he also begged Indra to restore the lives of all the Vanaras, all the monkeys who assisted Rama in Rama and Ravana's war, the civil war between Rama and Ravana. And Parameshwara praised Rama, which will be seen before Rama Pattabhisheka. Everyone praised. And at that time, Parameshwara showed the person who was clean shaved, who was like a youngster, who looked like an elder brother to Rama. He showed him that he is your father Dasaratha. Go and meet him. Which Parameshwara showed, Lord Shiva showed, Mahadev showed. And Rama sat on Dasaratha's lap. And he asked how is your condition in Devaloka? They were looking after me like how you look after me. They all looked at me with great respect that I am the father of Rama. I am proud to be your father. But the thing is, Rama, you asked me for some boon, which Dasaratha begged. And Rama told, please forgive Kaikeyi and Bharata's action, which Dasaratha did out of compassion. And another thing is, and he knew Rama's activity and why he made him to stay in Swarga, because if he was in Vaikunta, as he chanted Ramanama continuously, he couldn't see the divine coronation of Rama. He couldn't see Rama Pattabhishekam. To bless Rama, to shower flowers on him. That's why Rama made him to sit in Devaloka. As he, even though he had the gap of, even though Kaikai did such kind of heinous crime, he didn't want her to speak ill about Kaikai. He neglected it. Instead, he wanted Tameva Kshvagunatasya Bharatasya Katam Guruhu. Instead, you speak about Bharata. And after he had a divine he had divine Snana in Godavari river. Both had tied their hairs, partially tied their hairs, and after wearing the new clothes along with Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, it looked like, as Valmiki given us the Kailasha, he has given us the Mount Kailash. He experienced what he had seen in the Kailash. Just in that one sloka, Krita Abhishekaha Rajaramaha Sita Dvitiyaha Saha Lakshmanena Krita Abhisheko Girirajakanya Rudrasanami Bhagavan Viveshaha Krita Abhishekaha Sararajaramaha. After having the bath, as he was ready to do austerities at a particular time, Sita Dvitiyaha Saha Lakshmanena. At one side, Sita followed him, and behind them, Lakshmana followed them. It was like Kritabhishekaha Girirajaganya. It was similar to Kritabhishekaha Giriraj. After Parameshwara and Parvati, after they took a bath in Manasarovar lake, and Nandikeshwara also took. It is like Parvati, Parameshwara and Nandikeshwara, Rudrasanandi, Bhagavan Veshaha. Like the Kailasa itself has emerged, as ascended in Godavari, in Panchavati. At that time, everyone went to their ashrama and Rama was doing his austerities. At that time, suddenly one demoness came. Tam desham rakshasi kanchite Ajagama Yedrichaya. Suddenly, with no one's arrival, she appeared. And why here he mentioned Yedrichaya? Because everything occurs by Bhagavan's divine plan. That is why the film which has come in 1965, that is on Tiruvadiyadal, that's why that film was called Tiruvadiyadal, its name. Sorry. Why the name was called Tiruvadiyadal? Because it talked about Parameshwara's divine Leela. And that is also mentioned in Skandam, which is Halastya Mahatmyam. About Lord Shiva's pastimes is 64 place in Madurai. Which, how he blessed the Daruni and how he blessed Panabhadra, who was singing for the sake of Lord Shiva, and how he blessed and how he ruled the kingdom along with Madurai Meenakshi, along with Meenakshi Amma. Even though if you ask a person of any other field, if you ask a person, if you ask him a question that who is your mother, they would say, young Amma Meenakshi. They would say their mother is Meenakshi. And even though hundreds and thousands and periods of years Indra had placed that Shivalinga, who is none other than Chokkanada, Somasundara, he was there for thousands and 10,000 years. People won't say that. And they would first say Madurai Meenakshi, young Amma Meenakshi Amma. They would praise about Meenakshi. That is what Shyama Sastri, while his visit to Madurai, he had praised Meenakshi. In Mayamma, he said Meenakshi Amma, Meenalochani, Prova. In all the Navaraga Malikas, he sang in praise of Madurai Meenakshi. Kritabhisheka, Giriraja, a lot of Parameshwara's divine place had been mentioned in that. Hence it is called Tiruvadiyadal. To mention about Parameshwara's, because of Bhagavan's Sankalpa, Surpanaka arrived. That is what I want to mention. As slowly I went into the explanation of Thiruvayadu. And at that time, Surpanaka arrived. Even though it was morning time, she was ready to drink 1 cup of coffee without brushing her teeth, without taking bath. She was ready to have. And what was her bed coffee is? Nothing. There were hundreds and thousands of wild buffaloes over there. Just break their horns. From that, the blood will come like a fountain and it will slowly reach to her mouth. She had a very big mouth. Her appearance frightened all the animals. They all went there. If I go there, that will be my Yamaloka. So no one were there. It was damn silent. Nobody were there. And she was smelling that. I sense some human's flesh. Rather than drinking one more bed coffee from this buffalo, I would better devour that person. So slowly she entered into Rama's tent. That is the Rama's hut, which was built by Lakshmana. When she appeared there, when Rama was slowly doing tapas, he was about to complete, he was in a midway of austerities. And when he slowly opened his eyes, he was worried that whatever the austerities I have followed, was it right? And Lakshmana completed his austerities very quickly because Aham Sarvam Karishyami, which he mentioned in Ayodhya Kanda, that I am there, brother, to do whatever the services which I was supposed to do, which he has assured everything to Rama, which he has assured everything to Rama. He was ready to do that. But Lakshmana was eagerly waiting. He was swiping the knives. He was sharpening the knives as he knew that he was ready to serve Rama. And at the same time, he was slicing the vegetables. All the things Lakshmana was doing. And Rama was about to speak with Surpanaka and he asked, "Who are you?" Instead of asking, "Who are you?" he was about to speak. And at that time, she told, "Satu Surpanaka namaha Bhagini Ravanasyesham tatasya trasopamam." Bhagini Ravanasyekam trasopamam. She has mentioned, she has introduced herself without being asked about her self-introduction. As Rama was about to ask. And before that, some say that Surpanaka told that. And some say that Surpanaka, by looking at Rama, she was amazed and she fell in love with Rama. Before she fell in love, she don't know how to propose. She asked, "Who are you?" in a commanding way. And Rama told his story, what had happened in Ayodhya Kanda and what had happened in Bala Kanda. Everything Rama told. And he has introduced that over there, she is my consort. And in the kitchen, he is my younger brother. By introducing them, and Surpanaka laughed at Sita that she doesn't suit you. So Rama, so Mr. Ram, I'm telling it in a ultra modern way. That is the way of portraying Surpanaka. Because, and that gives us the entertainment for those who follow Ramayana. Like I would say in a ultra modern way, so Ram, I am ready to propose to you, Ram. So, please accept my proposal. You don't worry. You know, my name is Surpanaka. And I have a look at my nails. And she showed her nails. That nails had defined her name itself. And even though Valmiki and she had introduced that I have three brothers. One is there, one brother. He lives in Amaravati. His name is Kubera. And he has a younger brother who is the king of Lanka, Lankeshwar, Ravan. And he has two younger brothers. One is Kumbhakarna, who spends in time in the bed, who always sleeps for 24/7, for 365 days, he always sleeps. And I also have an elder brother, who is Lankeshwar's younger brother, Vibhishan, who had no such bad qualities. He's a sadhu. And apart from that, I have two brothers who's ruling India. One is Kara and his younger brother Tusana and Trisiras. All were my younger brother. And everyone are ready to live my life. As Duryodhana said, Anyeta Bhavasudaha Madarte Chitta Jivitaha. The same thing, they all were ready to do, to satiate my hunger. And they showed me hundreds of male people. I rejected everyone by simply devouring them. But I won't devour you, Rama, don't worry. Mr. Ram, I would fall in love with you, Rama. If you want to go to Singapore, if you want to go to Dubai, if you want to go to Malaysia, you don't need a passport. Come with me. I would carry you. You don't need to sprain your legs. I would carry you whatever place you want, whatever the pleasures you want. I am there. I will take care of you. Don't worry, Rama. I love you. Which Surpanaka told in a way. And Rama, instead of getting angry, he chuckled. Because he don't know how to propose. She don't know how to propose. As Valmiki has given us, Sumukam Durmukhi Rama, Vrittavadyam Mahodari, Visalaksham Virupakshi, Sukesham Tamramutaja, Piti Rupam Virupasa, Suswaram Bhairavaswara. There Rama is compared with, where Valmiki had compared with Rama and Surpanaka. Sumukam Durmukhi Rama. As here, if you see Rama, people will die. People will strive to look at his face. Durmukhi, by looking at her face, that will be their doomsday. Vrittavadyam Mahodari, his body, you mean his stomach, his stomach is very controlled. His stomach is very controlled such that it doesn't overshadow his heart. There here is Mahodari. It is like a pot. It is like a pot that has been hid in the stomach. Visalaksham Virupakshi. Visalaksham. His eyes was very wide. Here, if you look at her eyes, you won't sleep for 24/7. Sukesham Tamramurtaja. Sukesham. He had a very good hair. Nice hairline. Here, her hairline was receding. Instead, she kept the 5 hairs, and instead of keeping it aside, she also colored it. And he always followed dharma, and for her, whatever I say and whatever I hear, that is only the dharma. She lived in that principle. And even though Rama looked at her appearance and looked at the way she proposed, Rama started speaking jovially with her that it's better. And Rama told her, that it's better you go behind Lakshmana. He is there. He will take care of you. Even though he told Surpanaka to go over there. At that time, Rama turned that backside and Lakshmana was busily doing the service. And he told, and she was ready to propose Lakshmana, and Lakshmana told, and she had a mind that his complexion was very dark. So here his complexion was very appealing. It's better I propose to him. And she was ready to propose to Lakshmana. Lakshmana asked, "Oh, who are you?" You know me for 1,000 years? And she was perplexed as she addressed him as Lakshmana. And Lakshmana told, even though you had come, I like your proposal, but the thing is, you better serve Rama. Meru Arka Prabha Yatha, which Lakshmana told in a jovial way that Meroho Arka Prabha. You are like a Meru. He's like a sun. Like Meru has to be compared with the sun. You must not compare Vidya with the sun. Because of its steepness and because of its height, Meru has to be compared with the sun and it has a right to touch the sun. So better you go behind Rama. That will be the better choice, to go behind Rama. Look at me, what I am doing. I am chopping the vegetables. If you marry me, I would go behind you, do this work, and it doesn't suit you. You look like a queen. He's our king. He's a Samrat. If you marry him, you will be the king and I will be devoted to serve for you. Which Lakshmana told. And she went towards Rama. And Rama told her to go to Lakshmana. And both Hether and Tether took place. Both Hisab Barabar took place. Everything happened. But she understood that both are messing with me. And both are playing with me because Sita was there. If she was dead, Rama would be forced to marry me. So, she tightly pulled her noose and she was ready to choke her to death. So, Rama had no other choice. He couldn't stop his austerities. He pushed her aside and he ordered Lakshmana, whatever you did was wrong. You must not mess, you must not play with such kind of a people. Look what she has done. You have told Meroha Arka Prabhayata. By using those words, and you have made her, you have more and more fueled the fire inside her. So Lakshmana, you have to correct her actions. It is your duty, you have to do it. Which Rama maximally pushed Surpanaka aside. And she was tightly holding Sita's neck, holding Sita's neck, and it has choked her breath, and Sita was about to die. At that time, Lakshmana chopped her nose, and some say that Kadai Mukai Aruttuvan, as Kulasekar Alval said in Perumal Tirumozhi, from his vision, he had chopped eyes as well as ears. The nose as well as her ears. Both were chopped. The nose that got, those that fell to the ground. Later, nearby that place, from that the place originated. Hence that name Nashik has come. Near Panchavati, Nashik had came. The place where Shubhadaga's nose had fell. And she don't know what to do. She couldn't tolerate Rama Lakshmana's valor. And she ran hither and thither to report to Kara, who was the king of Panchavati. And first, she signaled Kara and Dushana. So before that, she ran to, she told Kara and Dushana that take care of your family, take care of your king. And she criticized Kara of their carelessness, that those two people had come and you were simply enjoying those damsels' dance. Better put an end to those tyranny. And they all asked, who had brought you to the state? Which Surpanaka, instead of scolding those people, she told, Taruno Rupa Sampannau, Sukumaro Mahabalau, Pundarika Visalakshav, Sira Krishnanjinambaram. They both sang in praise of Rama and Lakshmana. And she went to Lanka. And first Kara and Dushana and Trishiras, those three Gundas, those three henchmen of Ravana, who were called the king of Panchavati, they all sent the 14 troops to put an end to Rama. And Rama single-handedly combated them and put an end to their lives. And they had no other choice. He sent hundreds of people to kill Rama. And Rama had cautioned Lakshmana, I think very something, I think big war is gonna appear over here. Some big war is gonna appear over here. So you go to Sita, you escort Sita and you protect her. And Lakshmana was ready to support Rama, but Rama insisted on Sita's importance. Because if we both were fighting, the Rakshasas somehow will go and torture Sita. It's better you escort and you protect Sita. You guard Sita. Which Rama single-handedly combated hundreds of Rakshasas. And Kara had thought that. And some had escaped by saying that one person had killed all the Rakshasas. Even though Surpanaka was visiting, was a spectator in that. And she also urged more and more rage on Kara, Dushana and Trishiras that you were not at all qualified to be a Rakshasa. And you let all the 1400s of your infantry, all the troops to Yamaloka. Better go and fight Rama. Better go and subdue Rama, which Surpanaka ordered. Kara, Dushana, Trishiras and all the 14,000 Rakshasas, they all surrounded Rama. And Devas who were ready to bless Rama, who were ready to pour flowers on Rama, they all were desperate and they all were shocked. As to Agastya, to all the people, Rama had showed his utmost humility. And whenever the people praise him as Paramatma, he would say, Atmanam Manusham Manye Ramam Dasaratatmajam. He showed himself as a human, as a man. That is what Valmiki had mentioned, Nyatum evam vidam naram. As Valmiki clearly mentioned that he is a man. And they all were wondering how can a single man combat with the 14,000 Rakshasas. Even though they had seen the death of Tataka and Subahu, they all were desperate and they all were surprised and they all thought that Charuddashasrani Rakshasam Gora Karmana Ekascha Rama Dharmatma Katam Yudyam Avapyasi Chatuddashasrani. How can Rama single-handedly combat with all the 14,000 Rakshasas? They all were ready. They all came with their elephants, with their horses, with their chariots. All the war that has to be assembled in a warfare has assembled in Panchavati. At that time, just 1 year had been passed over there. Nearly 12 years, 12 and a half or 13 years have been passed over there. At that time, Kara, Dushana, Tisiras, they were all ready. Everyone hurled the arrows on Rama, and Rama did a strategic move. Instead of keeping the bow erect, he had kept it along the waist. Mandali Krita Karmukaha. As Desika said in Swami Vedanta Desikan said in Raghuvira Gadyam, Disattarasya Sahasya Navavilokanam Mahakalapa Asahaya Sura Anapaya Sahasa Mahita Mahavrita Vaiti Dita Parirambana Vikata Viravrata Maharitsa Maya Bhikasar Ribbara Darbastarana Vikrama Yasholava Jivita Gridda Raja Devridaksha Bhakta Janadakshinya Kalpita Vibhuda Kabandari Vandita Avandya Munijana Kalusha Sabari Moksha Sakshi Bhuta, which he had said the entire Aranyakandam in those words. Disapta Rasa Sahasra Navavilokana Mahakalapa Asahaya Sura Anapaya Sahasa. As he had posed himself as a Sudarshana Chakra, at one hand he held the bow, another hand he hurled arrows. And similarly, on one hand he held the bow, another hand he hurled the arrows. I am saying it in a slow motion. I would say that he held the bow and he hurled the arrows. Like in a 1x, 2x and a 3x speed, like what we see in a YouTube. In that speed, Rama was very fast and very swift, and he answered all the volleys of the arrows hurled by the asuras. And while he hurled one arrow, that one had become 100, and 100 had become 1000, and 1000 had become 10,000, and the test beheaded all the thousands of arrows, 14,000 Rakshasas arrows, and some had left their hands, and some had broken their legs, and some heads were chopped off, and you see you see dead bodies surmounting Rama, and at the same time, blood river has been flowing, the Panchavati has been flowing over Panchavati, and one person had somehow escaped, and many say that he had wore the sari that has been kept ashore by some Rishi Patni. And Rama looked at him that since he disguised as a woman, better we leave him aside, which some say in a jovial way. So Akampana couldn't tolerate that. Ravana couldn't tolerate the live war which he had seen in his own eyes. He told Ravana about the needs and the news that has happened. And Surpanaka somehow entered to Lanka. And Akampana persisted that our soldiers are no match with one person's valor. And he single-handedly killed all the warriors, including our Kala, including our Dusana, including our Trisiras. Everyone were dead and everyone's heads were chopped. And there you see a blood river in Panchavati, which Akampana told the incident, and Ravana was very angry, and he asked, who was that person who had put an end to my troops? Tell me who he is. And they told him, there is one person whose name was Rama. Did he had any troops? No. He was a Padati. He had no chariot, no horse and no elephant. Sorry, no such thing. He wasn't seated on that. He was just a foot soldier. Like a foot soldier, he single-handedly killed all the people. And at that time, after 14,000 Rakshasas were being slain, all the Maharishis, Swasti Vostu, Brahmanebhyostu, Swasti Raghavayoriha, Swasti no Brahmanebhyostu, Lokanam Jayasanchayaha, Jayatam Raghavasyache, Paulastya Rajanicharaha, everyone blessed him. Everyone said, Sarvam Jayati. And amidst that time, Sita hugged Rama. She wasn't aware that Maharishis were circumlating them. And everyone blessed them that Swasti, everyone chanted Swasti Vachana, Swasti Vakyam, and they blessed Rama. After they blessed Rama, at that time, Ravana was desperate to kill Rama. And Akampana told it was impossible to kill Rama. And instead, he mentioned about Sita. He mentioned about his concert, which he had seen miles far away back. By mentioning him, Ravana suddenly, without telling anyone, he went to Maricha Ashrama. And Maricha was saying, by giving no one's address. And Maricha told about the greatness of Rama. That don't ever mess with him. Better you stay in your kingdom. If you fear about your life, you better stay in your kingdom. You're no match with Rama. Better don't fight with him. You better stay in your kingdom. After 14 years of his exile, he would go back to Ayodhya. Later we would start our syndicate, which Maricha advised Ravana, and Ravana went to his palace. Suddenly Surpanaka came to Lanka, and she criticized Ravana, and Ravana was busily enjoying the pleasures, all the dance performed by the damsels, and he was drinking wine, and all the pleasures Ravana was enjoying. At that time, Surpanaka berated Ravana that, how could you enjoy your worldly pleasures? You have lost your 14,000 kingdoms, as well as your 14,000 soldiers, as well as our brothers Kara, Dushana, Trishiras. Everything you have lost. Are you a king? Are you fit to be a king? Which she had hurt her ego. But she further added, and he asked, what happened? And why do you look so ugly? And she said, and why you are asking such question? The thing is, I went to Panchavati. Why? Because I want to suit a suitable bride for you. For that sake, I went all the way from Lanka to Panchavati. By coming by a chartered flight, personal flight I came. Because if you have that girl, Raiva Devi, na Gandhavi, na Yakshi, na Chakindari, she is no match with your Devatas which you possess. Yakshi, she is no match with all the Yakshastris which you are possessing. Nachakinnari, and all the servants which you have, all the servants to the Devas, celestial gods, they were no match with Sita's beauty. So better you marry her. For that sake, I went there. And those two people, Taruno, Rupasampanno, Sukumaro, Mahabalo, she was instead praising Rama Lakshmana that they were responsible for my nose to be cut, which has more and more fueled Ravana's lust, because he had the problem of lust. He couldn't overcome from that. And she has fueled the fire of lust in Ravana's heart. And that is the presence of Yadrichaya. Why I mentioned Yadrichaya in the first sloka, which means that she had came to, because she was responsible for the entire Rama Yuddha, and she was responsible for Ravana's death. She was a Satan to Ravana. And Ravana blindly listened to Surpanaka, and by listening to her advice, he once again went to Panchavati to visit Maricha. And at that time, Maricha was sleeping. He was covering the blanket wholly. And at that time, many used to say, Ravana knocked the door by calling him, because he was his uncle. In Tamil, you say, Mama, 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 Mama. And Maricha was tensed, and he thought it was Rama, 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 Rama. And he thought that was my ears, am I hearing impaired? He had a doubt that through that hole, through the keyhole, he saw, oh, our Dashanan, our Dashanan. So he welcomed him and he asked him, how are you, Dashanan? How do you feel? I have devised a plan. Will you adhere to my plan? Which he told Maricha that he didn't plan that. You go in disguise of a deer to attract Sita. And at that time, Rama and Lakshmana will go backside and I would kidnap Sita. And that is the way to kill, to put an end to Rama. By hearing to that, Maricha laughed. And he told that Rakaradini Ramani Ramastasya Ravanaha Ratnadi cha Ratanyeta. That, and he mentioned the greatness of Rama, that Rakaradini Ramani. Don't utter that word Rama, Rama, Rama. You are instilling fear in my heart, and that creates and that gives me ripples in my heart. I want to tell one thing. Ajata Vyanjana Shrimad. And at that time, he was around 12 and 13 years. At that time, he didn't grow mustache. He was, me, Subahu and my mother Tataka, we used to disturb the yajna performed by the rishis. And when they do swaha, we would swaha them. And Vishwamitra devised the plan that instead of him gonna curse us to death, he had brought the two people, and I thought that both of them were unfit to fight, and it was a comedy to me. And when I see the way, how he used that bow angled, the moment he was about to arrest one arrow on Tataka, with one arrow he killed Tataka, my mother Tataka, and By using Agneastra, he had burnt Subahu into ashes and slightly looked at me. And by looking at me, he told, I am a loafer. He's a loafer. So better we would dip him, Lakshmana. And he had hurled Manavastra on me. I don't know what to do. He had dipped me in 7 oceans and 7 rivers across India. When I go to Ganga, and he had dipped me in such a way that I would leave this world, I would die. And slowly he raised me up. And I thought, Abba, he had left me. Alas, he had left me. To the next river he would dip me. Not 1 and 2, 7 rivers and 7 oceans he had dipped me. So, it's better to escape from me. I had wore this ochre robe. And indirectly I had also sent those troops to kill Rama. And Rama killed them. And I had some more escape because I was wearing the ochre robe. Because Brahmana Pratipujaka. Because I was a Brahma Rakshas, I was also Brahmin. Rama respected that ochre robe. So, Rama had left me. It's better we stay alive, Ravana. Don't mess with Rama. Because the problem is Vikshe Samachyami, Shina Krishna Janamaram, Grita Darusham Ramaha, Pasha Hattam Ivantakam. Wherever I see Vikshe Samachyami, whenever I see the tree, I would see Rama. He would always have that Kodanda with him. It is like Yamraj coming in front of me. So don't speak about Rama. And don't mess with Rama. I'm saying for your own good. Which Ravana neglected. And he was ready to chop Maricha's head. And he tightly held his noose. And he tightly held his neck, to kill Ravana. To kill Maricha. And Maricha knew that someday or any day death would approach us. So instead of dying on Ravana's hands, I will better die on Maricha's hand. On Rama's hand, Which Maricha decided he was about to tell him that Sulabha Purusharachan Satam Priyavadinaha Apriyatasa Vatyasya Vatyasota Dullava. If there are many people who are there to praise you, Ravana, at least listen to my penultimate word. They don't care about your welfare. But to those who care about their welfare, whatever the words they speak, it appears to be bitter to them because it brings you the change. For you to bring you a change, those words seem to be very bitter. Which Maricha finally advised Ravana, and Ravana paid no heed to it. And Ravana ordered Maricha to do my work or else I will kill you. Which Maricha was forced to do. He came in a disguise of a beautiful deer. And that has also attracted Sita's mind. And Lakshmana wasn't perturbed. And Rama was like a bit perturbed on looking at Sita's excitement. And he was ready to sacrifice for Sita. And Lakshmana stopped Rama there. And he asked, you know everything, Anna, brother, you know everything, brother. Oh, brother, oh, Rama, you know everything. And this mirror and this deer with the silver studs on its back, on its skin, nothing of such as per in Brahma's creation. It is actually a deer, Maricha, who had came in disguise to kill us, Rama. It's better you don't get lured by this Maya. Which Lakshmana told, Jagatyan Jaganiyeta Mayesham na samsayaha. As Rama knew that it's Maya, but why he followed the deer, why he was trying to reach the match with the velocity of the deer, because for the past 10 years, 11 years, she didn't ask anything from me. So 12 years she didn't ask anything from me. So, to answer her, it's by my prime duty to serve her. If it was a deer, I would temporarily injure it and give it to our Sita. If it was Maricha, I would definitely slay him. So Rama followed the deer. while he was following the deer, while he was following the deer was was going in a high speed, which Rama couldn't follow, and he had no other choice. He hurled the Brahmastra on the deer, and suddenly, after that, then the deer form disappeared. From that, Maricha form appeared, and he shouted, before leaving the body, he shouted, "Ha Lakshmana, ha Sita," in Rama's voice. And that has also created a jerk in Sita's mind. And she ordered and she requested Lakshmana to save Rama. And Lakshmana knew that Jagatyam Jaganinatha Mayeshana Sanchya. All were all were Maya. Sita Ma, all were Maya. So don't get lured by it. And our brother won't cry for that. And he was always in a position to give refuge to those who ask for surrender. It's better, Ma. You don't need to cry. You don't need to worry. In front of us, you have seen the war. In front of us, you have seen everything, all the things you have seen. You have seen how he single-handedly killed all the 14,000 Rakshasas. So, nothing would happen to our brother. It was some Rakshasa, Maricha, who had said these words in order to create a jerk in your mind. And Sita Ma told that if you didn't follow me, I would end my life in Godavari river. And Lakshmana, no other choice. He had to go to Rama's place. Lakshmana went. At that time, Prarabhyata Maharoga Tasagrivastu Rakshasaha. After Maricha's vad, then slowly Ravana came. And Ravana came to Sita in a disguise of a bhikshu. At that time, when Ravana came in the type of a bhikshu, he looked at them. Etavrupachito vrittau stano tala phalopamau charuspite charudhi charunetamyasdi manoharati me kante adi kula vivambasa. At that time he came in a disguise of a hermit and he asked Sita, and you seem to be very brave, and that too in this dense forest, lot of wild animals there, circumnating over there, lot of Rakshasas over there, and how could you stay unperturbed? And that too, you look very, very beautiful, you look very glamorous, and you glamorous damsel, how could you stay unperturbed in this dense forest? And whom do you really rely on? And how could you stay unperturbed in this forest, which Ravana asked? And she found it very disgusting to speak with that person. And she was scared that if I didn't reply, this hermit would curse me. To get relieved of that curse, she started telling her own story. This actually shows us the dharma that we must not tell our story to unauthorized person. A person who has no reference and no relevance with us. And see what kind of a downfall Sita is gonna face by telling her entire story. And that has made Ravana to tell that, don't worry, you don't stay in this forest, better you come to Lanka, there lot of pleasures will be given to you. You would be equal to that queen of Lanka, which Ravana tells everything. And then she was forced to tell, and she told everything that her husband went to forest, just 15-20 minutes he would come over there. And then she was about to give a bhiksha, she was about to give whatever she had in the kitchen to Ravana. And the hermit offered everything, and he told, I don't come for bhiksha. You know who am I? Then he laughed voraciously and revealed that I am Ravan. I have 10 heads. Then slowly 10 heads manifested. Dasasho Vimshati Bhujaha. And 20 heads all manifested. By looking at that form, Sita was scared and he told, and he further addressed Sita that, Sita, what I told you, please come to Lanka. You don't stay in this forest. And why do you rely on Rama? Look at me. I have raised this. I have lifted Himalayas. I have lifted Kailash. At that too, Parameshwar and Parvati both were seated. When they were seated, I lifted the Mount Kailash. And I lifted Meru. And I played with all those mountains. Look at my progress. Look at my Prabhava. Look at my Paurusha. Submit yourself to me. You will be the queen of Lanka. And you would be placed in a position that is far higher than Mandodari. Don't rely on Rama. Rely on me. And by my order, everyone were fretting and everyone were subjected to me. They all were forced to answer to me. Better Sita, accept my proposal. I really like you. I want you to be the queen of Lanka. Which Ravana told. And Sita told, Mahagiri Nivasam cha Mahedra Sadasya Praham Mahagiri Vakshobhyam Aham Rama Manuprata Sarva Rakshana Samvatam Mekkorasam Srivam Satyavandam Mahabaham Aham Rama Manuvrata Naham Shuditasya hi simmasya Vigasaktroho tarasinaha Ashi Visha Vadanat Dramstram Adatumi Vichati Kalakuta Ivat Vichan Vidam Sustivan Bhavet, which Sita tells Ravana, Mahagiri Vihakampyam Mahendra Sampatim Mahodari Vakshobhyam Aham Rama Manuvrata. Even though Mahagiri Nivasamcha, if you appear to be a Vindhya, Rama is a Meru. Even though you both have peaks and valleys, and always Rama would stay ahead of you. And I am always tempted to Rama. Sarvalakshana Sampatan Nekroda Parimandanam. Satyasandam Mahabhaga Mahamana Maham Rama Manuvrata. And you are no match with him. And you think that on the walls mounted with spears, you think that you can keep a leg on that. Similarly, it is in the case of you separating me from Rama. And you think that by drinking the Kalakuta Visha, like how Parameshwara drank and he blessed the Devas, you can't do that. Which my Guru said that you are Shiva Bhakta. Your prime duty is to serve Parameshwara rather than having affair with another woman. So, by drinking the poison, you think that you would live for hundreds and 10,000 years, which is impossible of you attaining me. Which all the things Sita had literally blasted Ravana, and that has added fuel more fire, which he had no other option. And he thought, by conversing with you, no job can be done better. I have to abduct you, which he, with the 10 heads and 20 hands, he was ready to crush Sita. At that time, he held her hair. He held her hair and slowly mounted on his shoulder. And later he made him sit on her right lap. And many say that many praise Ravana because of that. But here, as per Valmiki, he had portrayed Ravana as an antagonist. I would also like to portray Ravana as an antagonist. And why he did that? Why he did such kind of heinous crime? Swarthavadaya Ravanaha. I would say this as an answer. He prepared for his own death. That's why he had to do such heinous crime that would annihilate his entire family, as well as himself too. So he kidnapped Sita and he boarded on a Pushpaka Vimana. At that time, the old vulture, who pledged Rama, Lakshmana, Sita that I would take care of you, Rama, in your absence. And she cried to Godavari. She cried to Godavari river. And she cried to those trees. And she cried to the mountain. Everywhere she cried and she lamented. Shipram Ramaki Samsargam Sita Bharati Ravanaha Hamsakarandavakirna Vande Godavari Nati. Shipram Ramaya Samsargam Sita Bharati Ravanaha. And she cried and she lamented that please convey the message to Rama that this Ravana had abducted me. So she had no other way. At that time, Ravana was very cheerful that he has achieved the plan. And at that time, Jatayu came in the middle and he stopped Ravana by giving him Dharmopadesha that you are a king of Lanka. So you must not do such kind of heinous crime. Better think twice. If you do such kind of thing, all the people will think bad about you. Better don't spoil your life unnecessarily. Which Ravana looked at Jatayu and he said, "Oh vulture, get out of my sight. Who are you to advise me? I am the king of Lanka. Who are you to tell me? Get lost. Mind your bloody business." Which Ravana told, and Jatayu saw that he can't be digested, he can't be consoled, he can't be confronted by in a dharmic way. Better we have to fight against him. So Ravana, before you leave this place, lock horns with me. With Jatayu challenged with Ravana, and Ravana was ready. He hurled a lot of arrows. All the arrows Jatayu received, like how the birds break the twigs. The same kind Jatayu broke all the arrows that has been showered by Ravana, and he fought valiantly with Ravana. And what can you say? Very old vulture with a youngster Ravana compared to his age. I am saying not a youngster, I can say. He lived for 10 crore years. He was at the time around I can say 10 crores, and Jatayu was above that. There was a combat between Jatayu and Ravana was no match to Jatayu. He couldn't subdue Jatayu. Jatayu with his 2 nails killed all the horses, and he killed the charioteer, and he broke the bill by saying that with this, he broke the bow, and by saying that with this bow you showered a valley of arrows. Better you won't permanently break those, won't shower any arrows. Better I break the will. Which he broke the bow. When he broke the bow, he broke all the weapons, and Ravana had no other choice. And he also pulled all the 10 heads. When he pulled all the 10 heads, the 10 heads again mounted and he started laughing voraciously, and that also created a fright in Jatayu. And he also cut all the 20 hands. The 20 hands again regrew, and Ravana thought, we have to put an end to this ugly vulture, this old vulture. Then he thought for a while. Then he took a sword from that has been received from Parameshwara, that is Chandrahas. As Parameshwara blessed Ravana that if you have that sword, you would remain ever victorious. Then he clasped Jatayu's legs, and Jatayu was about to kill Ravana about to scratch Ravana, and Ravana knew Jatayu's strength. His strength relied on both first on his wings and another on his feet. Then slowly Ravana cut Jatayu's feet. With the help of feet only you are able to scratch me. You won't have any feet. You better be lame. And he also had the 2 wings which would slap Ravana. And you broke all my ornaments, you broke all my armors. So it's better I cut all your armor. I cut all your wings. Which Ravana cut the wings of Jatayu, and Sita slowly clasped Jatayu, and she touched Jatayu. And why? Because whatever Ravana had given was a lethal blow, fatal blow. And because of Sita's touch, Jatayu holded his breath, such that he would take care of such that he would be in a position to convey the news to Rama. And at that time, Rama, after killing Maricha, he returned, and Lakshmana came empty-handed. He looked at Lakshmana about the news and incident happened, and he berated Lakshmana for his act. And Rama was ever unconsolable. He asked the Godavari Nadi, he asked the Godavari river, and he asked the flowers that bore all kind of flowers which Sita liked. And he asked the fruit, that is the jamun fruit. He asked the fruit of the jambu palam, that is the jamun fruit, which Sita used to eat, which Sita used to ask. He asked everything to tell him the whereabouts of Sita. Nobody answered. Everyone were damn so, were quite pin drop silent because of Ravana's atrocities. They were bound to Ravana, as because of his penance, he had controlled the entire universe. And Rama left his human activity by looking at the boulders, by looking at the mountains. He cried, "Where is Sita? Where is Sita? Where is Sita? Where was Sita?" Which he searched, and no answer received from anyone. And he raised this. He asked Lakshmana, give me my bow. Then he asked Lakshmana the bow, and he later pledged that Nashayami Jagat Sarvam Trailoke Chacharacharam. As the flora, fauna, as well as the mountains, in that you all resemble as gods. As you have failed to answer my question, as you are currently witnessing my suffering, Trailoke Characharam Nashayami Jagat Sarvam, I would destroy the entire universe. I would create another samhara. I would dissolve the universe. Don't ever mess with me. Tell me where is Sita, or else I will destroy the universe. And that is my pledge which Rama was about to take. Lakshmana stopped and pacified Rama. And he was the person to guide Rama. By Lakshmana's guidance, he saw a very big vulture. And Rama lost his temper, and he thought that it was that vulture who had devoured Sita. Better he would say that, slay him. While he went very, very closer, Jatayu spoke, "Rama, I am your Jatayu. I had been mercilessly, ruthlessly killed by Ravana. As Ravana abducted our Sita, I was in a position by not caring about my age. I was least concerned about my age. So my prime duty is to protect our children. So she was like my children. I was about to fight. I tried my best to fight with Ravana. At last he had cut my 2 wings, my 2 legs, and he had pierced me, and he had put an end to my life. And that was the way he had abducted Sita, which he told the news, and later he had breathed his last. And Rama kept Jatayu on his lap, and he told Lakshmana, to lit a fire. He deserved to do a Brahma-made samskara because he had sacrificed his life for me. Even though Dasaratha couldn't get that status, he had given that father status to Jatayu. After giving him the Brahma-meda samskara which he had did, adhering to the Shastras, at that time, the divine form had come. Yagati sarva bhutana ahitagneshu yagatihi अपरावर्तिता याम च याश्च ब्रूवि प्रदायिता मयात्म अभ्युज्ञातः गच्छ लोक अनुक्रमात् गृत्तराज महासत्व संस्कृतश्च मया चत यागतिं सर्वभूतानां आहिताग्नेषु यागतिः यागतिं सर्वभूतानां आहिताग्नेषु यागतिः अपरावर्तितायां च याश्च ब्रूवि प्रदायिता. That I am here to give you hundreds and thousands of land. I mean, for the person who did hundreds and thousands or donated hundreds and thousands of land, he was deserved to do a Brahmaveda samskara. But here, Mayatvam abhyanukyata gachaloka anukraman. For your sacrifice, you can go anywhere. Griddharaja Mahasatta Samskritasta Mayachata. He had given him the pass. As many people would stop you. Here Rama had forgot his state and he told that you can go to any loka, whichever loka you can go by giving him the moksha. As with that, here we conclude Jatayu moksha. And later, Rama, with his half-hearted mind, after performing the samskara to Jatayu, by after performing his shraddha to Dasaratha as well as his father Jatayu, his stepfather Jatayu, both by performing their karma, Rama was ready. Rama was about to leave Godavari. At that time, a big monster appeared. Kapanda Udare Mukam was ready to devour Rama and Lakshmana. And by Lakshmana's advice, Rama chopped Kabanda's hands. And slowly, Kabanda, before he was about to leave the world, he told Rama to bury him alive. By burying him alive, his curse would be resolved. And by mentioning his story of his misbehavior with Stula Siras, and that has resulted him to be to attain the state of Rakshasatva. And he also messed with Indra, that he received the boon that he had no such life, he had no death. So he was severely beaten by Indra. And he also mentioned that Brahma had given me a boon that I would live for so many years. And Indra told, why did you unnecessarily get those boon? And he asked, what shall I do in this world? I can't see the world. So his head has went inside the stomach. So Indra blessed him with eyes. And I need to eat something. So Indra gave him mouth. And what shall I do to collect food? And Indra also blessed him with 2 hands, which Indra gave him some life to Kabanda. And later he was wandering around this Panchavati forest and hither he sees any person, he would devour them. He was living for thousands of years creating atrocities. And later he revealed that he was Gandharva. And he requested Rama, Lakshmana, that since both of them were searching for Sita, so he advised him before he left Gandharva Loka that first go and meet Sugriva. If you have an association with Sugriva, automatically you would get Sita in no time. And before meeting Sugriva, who is in Kishkinda, meet Sabari. Meet Mahatma Sabari. As she was eagerly waiting for you, Rama, you have to see her austerities. As the days are nearing. So, before you meet Sugriva, meet Sabari. By giving the 2 instructions, Dhanu went to his Gandharva Loka. And when he entered that place, when he entered Pampa, there was a sense and a state of tranquility there. Because of Sabari's Anustan, because of Sabari's austerities, that has illuminated the fragrance in her ashram, which is in Pampa. That's the present day Hampi in Karnataka. While he's about to enter Kishkinda, her tapas had made Rama to primarily enter into her ashram. When she entered into her ashram, Rama was about to offer abeyance to Sabari. Instead, Sabari offered abeyance to Rama. And whatever the fruits and whatever the things which he had for so many years of austerity, for so many years of service, she did to Matanga Maharishi. Previously, she was a human from a hunter clad. And she used to hunt animals ferociously. When she entered her ashram, which was previously Matanga Maharishi ashram, when she entered that place, she saw the greatness of the Maharishi and suddenly she surrendered to him. And indirectly she served Matanga Maharishi without anyone's knowledge. And even Matanga Maharishi knew that incident. In order to celebrate, in order to make to know the devotion of Sabari, Matanga Maharishi played a game that he made all the disciples to know the devotion of Sabari, and everyone knew the great devotion of Sabari. And Matanga Maharishi was ready to leave the body. He was ready to go to Brahmaloka. All the disciples were ready. They with the folded hands, they asked, Maharaj, Swami, give me some boon, Swami. And Matanga Maharishi was ready. Before I leave this world, I would give them whatever I have accumulated by my years of tapas, of penance. And everyone instead asked Matanga Maharishi that, I want to fly like a bird. That is anima. And I want to stand like a Vebik mentioned in the cartoon universe. I want to increase my body size, Mahima. I want to increase my height, Mahima. And I want to increase my weight. I want to increase my weight, Garima. And I want to decrease my weight, Lagima. Many people were asking for that. And everyone asked for that, and he was forced. I couldn't even educate those people, even though I taught them Vedas and Shastras, everything. They didn't know the essence. Instead, they were behaving like a businessman. So whatever the things he had acquired, he gave them. Like how a person gives a 5 rupee, 10 rupees to a beggar. The same manner Matanga Maharishi gave all the siddhis to those disciples. And slowly Sabari came with folded hands. She knew about her Gurunatha would be leaving to Brahmaloka. And he also asked her, Sabari, what do you want? You can ask anything from me. I can give you anything. And she smiled. Oh Maharaj, oh Swami, you know everything compared to me. So you give me what is good for me. What is best for me, you please give me. So Matanga Maharishi, out of compassion, gave her a Taraka mantra. That would, he initiated her Ramanama Upadesa. The moment he initiated Ramanama Upadesa, Sabari was little curious to know the meaning of the mantra. And Matanga Maharishi told, this would give you higher benefits. You want to know the meaning? You will know it in a lifetime. You will know it in your later years. Which by telling that, Matanga Maharishi dropped his body and he went to Brahmaloka. And for so many years of austerity, she was preserving the Homa which was performed by Matanga Maharishi. And she was simply chanting Rama, 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 Rama. By not looking at the time, by not looking at people, they were all literally commenting on her. How many years you have been waiting? In Tamil you say, Devudu Kathindrika. How many years you are waiting? You always chant that Rama, 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 Rama continuously. When will that person come? Your Gurunatha had literally lied to you. What's the point in following these austerities? Stop it, stop it. By hearing that, she was unperturbed. She was continuously chanting Rama, 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 Rama. Later years, and that Ramanama, which was, and the later Ramanama came as Ramachandra Prabhu, as Ramabiran. It has appeared in front of Sabari. And he has received the prasad which she offered, out of compassion she offered. And many say that she bit half of the grape and kharjur and gave it to Rama, which I totally neglected, which I am totally against it. She was a disciple of Matanga Maharishi. And how could she behave in such a manner a tribe woman can behave? Since she was a disciple of Matanga Maharishi, she also knew the Dharma and Shastras which her Guru had followed. So she offered all the flowers, all the fruits to Rama. And Rama asked, Kachite Vichida Vignaha, Kachite Vardate Tapaha, Kachite Niyavakrodaha, Ars Tabodane. And he asked that, how did you control your senses, Indriyas? And how did you win over food. And how did you control your food? Sorry. And how did you control your breath? And all the things, and how did you control your intake? Which all the questions he had asked. And how many years of tapas he had done. Sabari, instead of telling the quantity of the tapas, she directly told. She told to the point. Adya prapta tapas siddhi tapasandarsana tvaya adya ve sapalam janma guravascha subhujitaha adya ve sapalam janma swargaschaiva bhavishyati toyi devavare ramaha pujite purusharsava. That whatever the tapas I have accumulated, if one person asked, if we were in the position to say, in Tamil you say, Ennatha pannito. For so many years of tapas I have done, what did I get? My mind is not in a sense of tranquility. I always long for something which we would say, we would lament. But here, Adyaprapta tapassiddhihi tapasandarsanattvaya, by so many years of tapas, by penance, I am right now reaping the fruit. Adyame safalam janma guravascha supujitaha. For so many years I served my guru. I am now reaping the fruit. Toyi devavare. And what is the purpose of my life? Which I had the question. And right now the answer is in front of me. Toyi devavare Rama pujite purusharshava. You are the God. You are Paramatma. You are Narayana Rama. Pujite purusharshava. And I serve you. And Rama didn't disapprove from that. In that he didn't say Atmanam Manasam Manye Raman Dasarathvajam to Brahma, to Parameshwara. In Yuddhakanda he would say. But here, in front of Sabari, he just gave a glimpse smile. Because to those people, he would proclaim his Bhagavan. To Anjaneya Swami, he proclaimed as Bhagavan. To Jatayu, to give him the moksha, to give him liberation, he proclaimed as Bhagavan. Why? Because of the unconditional, because of the selfless service Jatayu had showered. Here, in case of Sabari, she followed Guru's vachana. That is what Acharya Bhagavad said, Bhagavan kim upadeyam Guru vachanam. What is to be adhered? What is to be adhered which is equal to Shastras? Guru vachanam. Follow Guru's words, which Sabari had followed. By following, which for so many years of following Matanga's orders, by following his instructions, she prayed to Rama, and she went in the state of Samadhi, and she dropped the body in Matanga's Yogagni, and she went to the state where her Guru used to be. Tat punyam Sabaristanam Jagama Atma Samadhina. As Vedanta Desika said, Sabari Moksha Sakshi Bhuta. And he was a spectator of Sabari's Moksha. And Bhagavan came. He has to give her Moksha. And why she herself attained that Moksha? Even though Bhagavan was there. It is to show the greatness of Guru Bhaktas. As in the last satsang we have seen about the Gurutvam in Rama. Here you'd see about, here in this satsang we have seen about Guru Bhaktas. To those who serve their life for, those who spend their life for serving the Gurus. To those people, selflessly, without expecting anything by serving their lives to Guru, for them, Bhagavan would be the spectator and Bhagavan would look at their moksha. There is no need for Bhagavan to give them the moksha. The moksha is always Jatayu Mukti Padesaraya, what Brahma said in Brahma Stuti. That Mukti is actually your ancestors' property. There is no point in lagging or longing behind it. Jivetayo Mukti Padesadaya Vak. That Mukti is your ancestors' property. So, by offering yourself towards Guru and Bhagavan, you would attain that state, which Sabari had excellently showed in Aranyakanda. With that, we conclude Aranyakanda. From there, Rama, Lakshmana, they all started going to Kishkinda. From the next week of from the next session of satsang, we'll be seeing Kishkinda Ganda. That too very important. We'll be seeing Sugriva Pattabhishekam. Janaki Kanta Smaranam Jai Jai Rama Rama Sadguru Swami Naha Jai Anjaneya Swami Naha Jai.